Okay, so we just got this thing working in Avato here that I want to show you. And so it basically works like this. There's a transform here where we have an XML dialect describing MIDI messages coming in and an OSC message structure for messages going out. So what this says is when I receive fader 1 MIDI messages on channel 15 through MIDI, then I'm going to send that to OSC, convert that into an OSC message, which actually will drive my digital audio mixer. So here's the digital audio mixer over here, this MOTU device right here. And it is got a console here that has faders that control the volume levels and stuff. And it receives OSC messages over UDP. Whereas MIDI is actually, well, it's like a MIDI cord like that. Or modern ones, they also come in through USB and they have MIDI over USB and stuff like that. So anyway, what this does by being able to map the one to the other means that when I pull a slider over here, you can see it pulls the same slider over there. But there you go. So I'm moving these with my fingers and you can see the latency is really quite non-existent. See, look at that. We're sending hundreds of messages. Whoop, there we go. So up, down, up, down, up, down. Latencies, can you see the fader back in the background? Let's see if I can get them both on screen. There we go. There we go. That fader, and that fader. There we go. Move them both together. Woo! And so you can hear that's my vocal level. So when I put the main level up, and this one is how much reverb, and there I want more reverb. Whoa, yeah. And now I want more echo. And this is how much vocal goes on. So maybe no vocal at all. Yeah. That's it. One last thing I'll just show you here so you can see it. This is the user interface for the configuration we've built here. So basically what we've got is, let me just go full screen on this and you can see this all a little better here. But we've got a MIDI adapter here that is receiving MIDI once we run the start command through it. And then it listens for MIDI messages and it sends that through a logger that logs all the traffic. And coming out of that, this adapter will actually convert incoming MIDI in MIDI format from the serial connection to the computer and convert it into an XML message that can be sent over the bus. And so the XML messages it produces, it look like this. Here's a MIDI message, just has some byte values basically. And that will get sent down here to the OSC interface where this transformer, once it's set to listen or be initialized, it's operational, and then you can send OSC packets through it. And so basically this transform over here converts this MIDI message into this OSC message with a path and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically how that works in the user interface. And yeah, the emails we were hearing in the background, as you can see, this is not optimized at this point. This is doing a lot of logging, and there's an error mailer in the background if something goes wrong. So you can just see how much traffic is being hammered through that system so quickly. That's just me moving one of the faders there. I'm moving 2 faders now, and they're moving 3 faders at once, and you can see how fast it's running. But we have lots of logging, debug logging enabled here that can be turned off, and allow direct can be enabled on the components so that there's no HTTP post overhead. I imagine that this is going to demonstrate that we have a latency well under 4 milliseconds, but I have some ideas on how we'll measure that. Again, the server process running here, Avato can convert MIDI messages from a MIDI instrument to other MIDI messages or to OSC messages to send to a piece of hardware that accepts open sound control instead over the network, or to a WebSocket to talk to OBS Broadcast Studio. To be able to change scenes and whatnot. I use these buttons here and I map them to change scenes by sending a WebSocket message, transform it into the OBS protocol. And all of that could also be sending things out to the web and controlling the website. You could actually use the keys to build a website, like if you wanted to map it out like that. So yeah, so there it is. That's it working.